Yo, so I did a Rick and Morty video breaking down the first half of the season. Now we're doing the video breaking down the second half of the season, and it's a much easier breakdown than that first video. The reason why it's so easy to break down is because this second half of Rick and Morty is all wins, no losses in the second half, and that is a very strong second half, and it makes the season so much better when you look back on it in its totality. You had a few L's in the beginning, but in the second half, you came out real strong. And so let's go through the episodes, talk about them just a little bit, each one, as we categorize these wins that Rick and Morty has stacked up in the back half of season 7. So episode 6, that's a slight win in my opinion. So it's not a super memorable episode, and it's not super memorable because the way the episode was designed. To me, looking at this episode and comparing it to the pantheon of Rick and Morty episodes that we have to compare it to, I would say that it's very close to Interdimensional Cable. It is very close to Morty's Mind Blowers, the way that you keep getting cuts from where they are in the story to where they were in the past, and that stuff is cool. It's a way to do that same trope that the show has done without reusing or rehashing the exact same ideas. So it's cool in that regard. It's a win. It's just not super memorable of an episode. Episode 7 was the summer focused episode where we have the Total Recall callback to where she has Morty like fused with her and growing out of her stomach, and then she runs into this group of people who all have those things, and that stuff was super weird. Memorable episode, slight win as well. It wasn't necessarily funny. The strangeness didn't necessarily throw me off. It's just something about it that made it, hey, they did a super weird one-off here, and it's one that's going to stand probably the test of time when you talk about the rest of the episodes, and it's because of how weird this one was. Episode 8 is a big win, an unconventional win, but a big win nonetheless, and that is the iced tea, water tea, numbers and letters movie style episode. I really like this one. It wasn't one of the comedy ones that we normally get from Rick and Morty, but it was a backstory. I think we haven't seen Ice Tea, Water Tea, that character since season 2. So big callback to that episode. And it's cool that you went that far in the crates, got that character, and you came back and you finished off his story. And I'm sure they'll be able to do that for a lot of characters in the Rick and Morty universe. I like the way that it was done. It was really cool. It's very memorable, even though it wasn't a ton of laughs. Episode 9 is a decent win for Rick and Morty as well. You have the Heaven or Valhalla episode where Rick gets killed and Morty gets killed, and they go to Valhalla and they get sent back, and it's a lot going on in that one. A lot of gags, a lot of funny stuff. I think they used Bigfoot quite well. I think they used the religious aspect of it quite well. I enjoyed everything that they gave us in that episode, and it is a memorable one just because you have Rick dabbling in things that he normally doesn't dabble in, and kind of being proven wrong, but then at the same time being able to be right about some things as well. So it was cool. I liked it. And then you get to that finale with the fear hole. My goodness. Massive win, like blowout Super Bowl style win. The fear hole episode was so well done. Again, one of the ones that are strange and different and a one-off, and something that they'll probably never truly revisit, but it was so well done. And the tension that built in that episode was crazy. The twists that you see in the episode, I can't even count the times that they cut back to Morty and Rick realizing they were still in the hole before ultimately getting to the point where Morty realizes my biggest fear is jumping in here and not being pursued by Rick. Like, that was his biggest concern. And that's crazy. One, it makes so much sense because the character of Morty, when you first introduced him way back in season 1, like, he's afraid of everything. Everything makes him unsettled and fearful and nervous. And so to see an episode where they play off of his fears, and his fears are so deep and so numerous that you get all this other stuff that comes out of it. That was incredible. Huge W on that episode. And I think this season goes down as a solid season. Not because of the first half though, because the first half was spotty. The second half, all wins. Not all slam dunks, not all home runs. But yes, you're getting positive feedback on every single episode in the second half of season 7. And that's more than what you can say for the first half. And That's what you want going into anything. So those are my thoughts on Rick and Morty, the back half of season 7. Let me know what you think about the episode and the way that the episodes broke down with season 7. That's all we got for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.